In today's MMA fight news, bantamweight Jonathan Martinez tells Damon Martin that when the UFC offered him the fight with Jose Aldo, he didn't realize it was the Jose Aldo. Former middleweight champion Sean Strickland recently opened up about mental health issues on his Instagram account. When speaking to ESPN MMA, number 5 ranked welterweight Jack Della Maddalena had this to say in regards to a potential matchup with number 3 ranked Shavkat Rakhmonov. He's carrying an injury, I'm carrying an injury. I reckon I'm good to go early August. It's a big title eliminator fight. I think I can finish him. I think I go in there and shock the world. I reckon I could spark him and then get the title shot. Recently on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, bantamweight title challenger Marlon Vera said he'd like to return to the octagon this November at the annual Madison Square Garden card. He's calling out Peter Yan as his next opponent, stating, "I was hoping to fight Yan in November. He is the one asking for it. If you want it, heal up, man." Chito also told Ariel Helwani that on the day of his big title fight at UFC 299, his house had been burglarized. His family did not want to tell him, but somehow someone leaked the information on the day of the fight. When asked about the big body shot he landed on O'Malley in the final seconds of the 5th round, Vera stated, "If we were fighting to the death, the O'Malley family would have had a funeral right now." The Ecuadorian also said that he suffered 0 injuries during his title fight at UFC 299. On former challenger Corey Sandhagen's comments about the fight, Marlon had this to say, "It didn't bother me in a way that affects me, but I'm like, dude, I just fought, dude. It didn't go my way and you make your whole effing douchebag YouTube videos? I'm like, dude, stick to fighting, dude. You're not a effing influencer. You look like a effing idiot." They've become like school teachers now. Cejudo does the same thing. In other news, former bantamweight champion Peter No Mercy Yan said this on X. "So MRA confirmed ACL rupture, meniscus tear, and groin injury. Surgery is scheduled for tomorrow. Nothing will break me. I'm determined to come back stronger than ever in no time." Former middleweight title Paulo Costa took to X stating, "We have a fight," implying he has his next fight booked. On the MMA Hour, Coach John Kavanagh had this to say in regards to Conor McGregor and his next fight. "It's weird to me for someone to be the star he is and not get more opportunities. Yes, he's ready to fight." Per Talk Sport, the notorious Conor McGregor had this to say in regards to communication breakdown with the UFC and his return. "That would be great for me, June 29th. And then the Sphere. And then what? What happens then? I don't know. And I wonder, does the UFC know? There's been no talk about anything." When speaking to Marca on a potential matchup with superstar Conor McGregor, featherweight king Ilia Topuria had this to say, "First and foremost, in terms of making our sports known, he, McGregor, is the perfect character. My goal is to expand the sport. I want to expand the sport as much as I can, and the more people know about it, the better. 2, because he represents a chapter in MMA, and I believe that it is time for that chapter to close and a new one to begin." Speaking to the MMA Hour, Mike Tyson's trainer, Rafael Cordero, had this to say, "I believe people don't have to be concerned about Mike Tyson's safety. You're talking about a guy who's 2-time world champion. The guy didn't have 20 fights in 2 years. He knows how to fight. He fought against the best guys in the world. When he steps in the ring, he knows what to do. It's not something new for Mike, and this fight is no different." Also on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou says he has no memory past the first round of his fight with former champion Anthony Joshua, stating, "I don't remember when I came back from the stool to go to the second round. I wasn't there anymore." The former champion also stated, "It wasn't me that fought Tyson Fury that was there fighting Joshua. It was somebody else." The former champion also stated, "I'm starting to feel like boxing now owes me something that I have to claim. The way that this fight happened is not the way that it was supposed to, or that it should have. So I think now I need to do boxing to claim something, to claim my respect, to claim my dignity, to claim everything. In other fight news, fighter Matt Brown posted this to his Instagram account. Former heavyweight champion and UFC Hall of Famer Mark Coleman is back in the gym after just 6 days from being released from the hospital after severe smoke inhalation. Newly crowned featherweight king Ilia Topuria was greeted by fans at Tbilisi International Airport in Georgia. It's estimated that 5,000 Georgians came to greet the champion at the airport. Former UFC double champ Daniel Cormier had this to say on his YouTube channel. I think Islam Makhachev possesses a lot of those same types of qualities of Khabib Nurmagomedov. Very similar when he gets you on the ground, but because he's a better striker, I feel he is even more dangerous than Khabib was during his prime. Boxing Hall of Famer Teddy Atlas had this to say to the fight in regards to bantamweight champion Sugar Sean O'Malley. I'm not going to call him a striker. I think he would beat a lot of pro fighters. He would beat a lot of pro boxers. He's that good at boxing. His legs are that good. His striking ability, his combinations are that technically sound and that pure. His hands are that fast. His ring IQ is that high. Bantamweight contender Umar Nurmagomedov tells ESPN he thinks Corey Sandhagen is a tougher challenge than Sean O'Malley, stating, I think it's more hard than even O'Malley because Corey, it's very difficult. His IQ is very high level, I think. When speaking to UFC Brazil, flyweight champion Alexander Pantoja had this to say on fighting future opponent Steve Erceg. That's pretty much what I asked for. I wanted a somewhat unknown opponent, and this guy comes to me. He is a very tough opponent. I believe that at this moment, he is more difficult than Royval, than Moreno, because he is a guy who comes from behind with nothing to lose. He is number 10 in the rankings. He comes fresh into the category. When asked about his recent tense encounter with UFC champion John Jones, interim champion Tom Aspinall had this to say to JN Media UK. I think he thought I was putting my hand on his shoulder being disrespectful, but I wasn't there to be disrespectful. I was doing it in a friendly way. I'm not trying to cause any beef. I'm trying to fight the guy and take his belt. I have no beef with the guy and just wanted to meet him. Finishing up, here are a few updates to the UFC heavyweight rankings. Marcin Tybura moves up 2 spots to number 8, while Tai Tuivasa falls to number 10. And at women's bantamweight, Macy Chiasson moves up 4 spots to number 6, while Pani Kinzad falls to number 9. Also, Chelsea Chandler moves up 1 spot to number 13, moving past her recent opponent Josiane Nunes. Lastly, at men's bantamweight, Kyler Phillips moves up to the number 11 spot, passing Dominic Cruz.